Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been such a long time since I filmed a video. I just want to keep this intro really quick because my battery's about to die, and also the video I've just filmed is really long. I just wanted to come back to doing videos. I didn't really want to kind of make a big deal out of it. I've got a lot of new makeup to play with, and I did this look that I'm wearing now. So if you want to find out how I got this look and also some new products and what I think of them, then please just keep watching. Okay, so I'm really sorry if you can hear all the noise outside. There is a storm in like the whole of the south of England at the moment, so it is very windy and it is absolutely pouring it down at the moment. So I don't know how much this camera is going to pick up of the noise outside. I'm hoping it's not going to pick up too much, but I'm just going to have to go with it. So as I mentioned in my intro, I've got a lot of new makeup that I wanted to play with. I've not got enough for like a full face. I'd say pretty much the majority of the things I'm going to be using today are new and I haven't used at all. So I'm just going to kind of jump straight into it. I'm going to start off with eyeshadow. I'm going to be using the Beauty Bay and Mama Mitchell palette. I got this a few weeks ago and I've been saving this for doing a video on YouTube. So this is what the palette looks like. You've got kind of warmer tones on the left and then you've got some cooler tones on the right. And then it comes with this magnetic mirror as well, which kind of slots in the middle between them. If you don't have the mirror in, the palette will not close properly. You do have to make sure that when you put it away, the palette is properly closed. So I'm not going to do like a real colourful look. I'm probably going to do quite a neutral look today just because I've got I've got a couple of other eye products that I wanted to kind of try out. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my Morphe and Jeffree Star brush, the JS6 brush. This is staying from when I've been using pink eyeshadow. And I'm going to go in with the colour, I feel like Man Made, which is this colour here, and Main look very similar. They look more similar in real life than you do on camera. I feel like Main is coming across more orangey on camera, but I think I'm going to use the colour Main, which is this colour here. So I've swatched a couple of these shades, but just me tapping on that colour once, I've got quite a bit of product on my brush. So I'm just going to take it, just keep my eye open and just pop this into my crease. I wanted to do quite a warm kind of neutral look. So now that I've got that colour all laid down, I am going to go in with my Morphe M506 brush. I've got a couple of these brushes because I do really like them. And I'm going to go in with Mr. H, which is this peachy colour here. One thing I will say about this palette, by the way, is at the moment with the colours that I've been using, I know I've only used two, there is no fallout whatsoever in the pan, and it's quite strange because normally when you've got really pigmented eyeshadows, there tends to just be so much fallout, but whereas on this, I haven't really had that. I feel like with these two colours, with like this kind of bluey purple here and this Marnie colour, I feel like they look quite chunky, so there probably will be some fallout with them, but it'll be interesting to see what happens when I start using the shimmers. So I'm going to take the colour Modest. You can probably see here, like with a colour like that, if there was fallout, you'd be able to see it all over. Now, you can see like the kind of pigment on the shadow, but for me, fallout is something like when there's just shadow ends up absolutely everywhere. So I'm taking this on my Morphe M562 brush, which is just a teeny tiny blending brush, and I'm just going to use that just to soften that Mr. H colour out. So now that I've gone ahead and done that and I've got a really nice blend, I'm going to go in again with all the colours, but this time I'm going to focus more on just blending them straight onto the eye as opposed to packing them and laying them down. I'm going to take the same brush I used with Main again and just really start to buff that straight into the eye, and I'm not not trying to kind of pack it. I just want to blend it because the pigment's already there. It's just going on top really well and just buffing straight into the other colours. And I just want to pack a little bit more of that on the outer corner, but you can see the difference that just that makes. Just buff it out just like that, and you can repeat this as many times as you want. These shadows seem very pigmented, so I have a feeling I'm not going to have to do this again after this step. I do tend to go backwards and forwards between the colours, so once I've got this colour laid down, I then take my Morphe M56 and that Mr. H colour again, which is that peach, pack a good amount onto the brush, and again just blend it. And it just blends it right out. I can bring it up slightly higher because I know that the Modest colour, the kind of yellowy peachy colour that we're going to apply at the end, is going to blend that out really nicely. And then I'm going to go back in with my JS6 brush, but I'm not going to add any more of Main, and I'm just going to buff them two together. So I've got that real nice peachy colour. So if you feel like the colours aren't blending into each other properly, or you think I've still got this harsh line, what you can do, and I'm just going to do this just to show you, even though I'm not really having that problem, is this is the colour that I've been using to blend out this colour. So what I want to do is I want to take a colour that's kind of in between the two. So I'm going to take this orange, this metal colour, and I'm going to take it on a clean Morphe M506 brush. I'm just going to take a little bit, just a very small amount on my brush, and I'm just going to buff it over. And what you'll find is it's the perfect, if you find the colour that's kind of in between in tone and also in the kind of depth of the colour. So you've got that orangeness from the peach, but you've also got the kind of a little bit of the depth from the brown. And it's making that peach pop, but also just kind of getting rid of any harsh line. And it just makes it look so much better, in my opinion anyway. That's just what I think. So I'm going to go ahead and keep blending. Just make sure that you know, if you're using two of the same brush, make sure you know what colour you're using with what. And then I'm just going to bring up this peach just a little bit more on kind of this part of my eye. And then I'm going to take that Modest colour again and just very gently, because I don't really want to get rid of too much of the peach, and it's blended really well, and just kind of sweep it over. So I'm not really buffing it, I'm not doing circular motions, I'm just sweeping that colour on just like that. So you can see the difference that's made. I've got the depth, I've got the blend, the colours are really nice and like pigmented. It's exactly the shape that I want. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same thing on the other eye. Okay, so now that I've done both eyes and they match as much as possible, I mean, to be perfectly honest, if you've got slightly uneven eyes like I feel like I do, your eyeshadow is never going to match perfectly, and that doesn't really bother me as much because I feel like once I've got the rest of my face on, I've got my lashes on, I've got some eyeliner on, they look pretty much the same anyway. I've got this eye foil from Lottie London that I really want to try. It is in the shade Denied. I got this in TK Maxx yesterday. They actually had these like little bags that had like 3 or 4 Lottie London products in, so I just kind of looked through and thought, what is the kind of things that I would like to try the most? And this is something that I've been actually looking at online, not this particular colour, but I just figured I would try it. So this is its swatch. This is what it looks like. I don't know how well. So that's what it looks like. It's just got this real nice kind of like silvery goldy sheen with some reflex of like blue in it as well. So I just wanted to try and use that on my eye. So I think what I'm going to do, what I want to do is just like a soft-ish cut crease, and whenever I do softer cut creases, I always like to get the brush I use to apply my base, and I'm just going to start by just gently kind of sweeping it onto my eyelid, sort of where I would want it to be. And then I take a fluffy brush and just start to gently very, very gently, kind of start buffing it up. And if you just kind of keep applying, I'm not adding a ton of product. If I wanted to do like this real harsh kind of cut crease, I would apply quite a lot of product onto my brush so I could get that real sharp defined line. I still want it to go as high as I would normally put it so I can see it, so I am just going to bring it up, but I'm just being very soft, not trying to get it too harsh, so it's not going to be like this real obvious cut crease, just like that. So it's just kind of cleaned up my eye a little bit. It's really soft. I will add some kind of colours over here. I just want to kind of get rid of some of this depth just in this top part here, like that. So again, going to repeat the same thing on my other eye. So I've just got that laid down, and I'm just going to very quickly kind of sort out my outer corner blend. So I'm going to take a little bit more of Main on my JS6 brush from Morphe. I actually really like this brush. It is very similar. It's basically your kind of MAC 217 that I feel like everybody has. So I'm just going to pack this in to the outer corner of my eye. So I've got my Morphe M506 and that orange colour, the colour Mental. So this is the brush I use. And I just very, very gently want to sweep some of that across. I do want to get a little bit of that orange kind of onto my eyelid. And again, just take your JS6 brush and just kind of buff that in. I always have like so many brushes in my hands. I'm just constantly going backwards and forwards between the brushes that I use, just to kind of get, I feel like that's what's going to get you that seamless blend. I'm going to take a little bit of the peach on my other 506 brush, which is the Mr. H colour, and just use that just to give that final blend into my base. So I'm going to go in with the Lottie London eye foil, and I'm not going to go straight on with the kind of applicator it comes with. With products like this, I never tend to do that. So I'm going to take it on just a flat eyeshadow brush. This is a MAC one, I think, but the name's all kind of rubbed off because I don't know how this is going to lay down on my eye. I don't know how it's going to lay down on the base. It feels quite like wet. So I'm just going to just kind of pat this on. Wow, that's actually really quite nice, because I really want to kind of feather it out. I'm also being really careful not to go right on my lashes because I do want to apply some winged liner as well. So I'm just going to kind of pack that on. I feel like you would really need to build this, just because it doesn't seem to have much of a colour kind of base underneath it. Some of the other colours look a lot more kind of opaque, whereas I feel like this one is more of a, you could use it more as an eyeshadow topper, but I just wanted that bit of sparkle kind of on my eye, and then I just tend to feather it out a little bit. I might actually try and go ahead and just apply it with this and see what difference that makes. I don't normally, like I said, I don't normally do this with products like this, but I feel like it's not too like chunky, or it's not too, like the particles aren't like really, really stuck close together. So I'm just going to kind of go with that for now, and then I'm going to go with my other eye. I think I'm just going to go straight in with the applicator and see what happens. These are very, very, very expensive, so you're not going to get something like the Stila, I think it's is it the Stila Glitter and Glows? They are, I've really, really liked them. I've got, I think 2 or 3 of them, and they are really nice. So I feel like this is something that's supposed to be fairly similar, but I do feel like that maybe with this particular colour, I'd have to try more of them, that this would be more of a eyeshadow topper rather than something that you could use on its own like you could with the Stila one. So maybe when it dries down you can kind of layer it up a little bit. It is making my eyes feel a little bit uncomfortable. I find with anything like this though, it does kind of almost burn my eyes for just a very short period of time, so it doesn't always alarm me as long as it kind of stops. after a couple of minutes, but I just feel like as it dries down, it is slightly, just like a slight uncomfortable feeling. So I've gone a little bit too high on this side. I'm going to leave that to dry for a couple of minutes, and then I'm just going to try and flick away the, like, what I've put on that's too much. I was going to do a gel wing liner, but I'm wondering if I should have a go at using the black from the palette. I might try and do that because, in all honesty, I don't think I can be bothered to actually go in with full-on gel liner. And it just gives me a chance to experiment more. So I do still have a slight kind of uncomfortable feeling on my eyes. So I'm just going to go ahead and see if these are actually dry. So I'm just going to take the clean side of the brush. So they are, it does come off on the brush, so I don't know if that's dry at the moment. But yeah, we'll just see how it goes by the end of the video. So what I want to do now is just apply some black, like, shadow to my waterline, because I want to do some, I want to apply some false lashes. I also do have a new mascara to try as well. So yeah, I've probably got more new face products than I do eye products. So I'm going to take the black from the Mitchell palette, which is in the colour Mafia. This has probably got the most fallout out of any of the colours that I've used so far. And I'm just going to, oh, that is pretty, that's quite pigmented. So you might not even be able to see it on camera. I'm hoping that you can. That's what that shadow, that Lottie London looks like. It actually looks really nice on camera. I just feel like it helps blend my lashes into my false eyelashes into my natural eyelashes. I was going to do a bit of a wing, but I think I'm just going to kind of add a bit of depth. But that black is really quite nice. It's really quite pigmented, but you can see what the difference it makes. It just kind of opens up my eyes a bit more and just defines the lashes. I don't know if you can see as well, I've got maybe like 3 or 4 specks of black shadow underneath my eye, but apart from that, I've got no fallout whatsoever. I do feel like when I use the P. Louise base, fallout is always very minimal. If I ever do like a liner with a shadow, I always just take a little bit more of the black shadow on this Zoeva 226 smudger brush, just to make sure that it is super soft and super blended. Just like that. The next new product I got, which again I got yesterday, is something that I'm actually really excited to try, and this is the Maybelline The Falsies Lash Lift Mascara. I have used the kind of more original Falsies mascara for a really long time, and I really like it. I have seen people kind of use this on Instagram, obviously like advertising it and things like that, so I'm excited to try it. I haven't actually got a new mascara in so long. I've been using up I got a sample of the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes, I think this one is, or whatever this one is, and I absolutely love that mascara. It's really dried out, but I'm still trying to get as much use of it as I can. It's got the kind of more bristly brush, which I prefer. I don't really like the kind of plasticky ones with the really small kind of stubs all around it. So I do think I'm going to like this mascara. I haven't curled my eyelashes though, because I don't tend to curl my lashes when I'm going to apply false lashes. I just find that they sit a lot better on top. So I'm gonna give this a go. So I'm gonna do one eye and then I will show you to compare. I naturally don't have very long eyelashes anyway, so I'm not expecting like major things. The brush is quite kind of fat, so I do wonder what it's going to be like once I get to my inner corner. So I'm just going to leave that to dry a little bit and then I will apply some, but it's nice. It's a nice mascara. At the moment I'm not like, this is the best mascara I've ever tried, but it is a nice, pretty nice mascara. Okay, so I'm going to have to kind of just come forward because you are zoomed in as much as possible. But that's what the mascara looks like. I think it's quite nice. It's definitely, I don't know what its claims are, but it has, my eyelashes look nice and separate. They've got length. They have got a bit of a curl to them as well. I think this is supposed to give you the look of having like a lash lift. I think that's the whole point of it being called lash lift. It does dry pretty quick as well, which I really like, because then hopefully I'm not going to end up with all the dots. So I'm going to apply some on my other eye quickly. So that's my eyes all done. I feel like the lashes actually look nicer on this side than on that eye, which never normally happens to me, so don't know what that's all about. I'm now going to apply some lashes. I'm going to do this off camera just because I really struggle to apply false lashes. These are the Sosu lashes in the style Milan. These and Dubai are my favourite. I just feel like they're not too long. They have a nice kind of, I don't know, like separation to them where you can still see your eyeshadow and they don't kind of cover everything up. I do find that my eyes are on the, like, I have a lot of space between my lash line and my eyebrow, but because I've got hooded eyes, it makes my eyes look quite small. So I find that some lashes just literally cover up my whole eye. If I have lashes that go all the way up to my eyebrows, it just doesn't suit me. That's why I tend to find I have to leave quite a lot of space between my eyeshadow and my brow bone. I just feel like that suits me more. I'm going to use some of my Duo Quick Set glue. I actually really like this glue. It does dry down nice and quick, and the lashes will not come off until you take them off. So that's the difference these lashes make. I think I might have actually put on the wrong ones. I think the ones I normally wear are Dubai and these are the Milan ones, but oh well. I still do really like these. They probably look a lot more dramatic on camera than they do in sort of real life, but you can still like see, if I come in, you can still like see the shadow and everything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's normally Dubai I wear, but oh well. So I'm going to move on to my face, and I've got quite a few face products that I want to try. I'm going to start by moisturising. I always just use my simple replenishing rich moisturiser. It's not that I have sensitive skin. I don't have sensitive skin. My skin just seems to randomly react to things. Generally for kind of no like real reason. It makes me really scared to try new products sometimes. I mean, just me doing that, look how red that has made my face. Like, that has made my face so red, and I just don't know why. I've never really had like sensitive skin. I'm really excited. I only actually found out this product even existed, I think Friday, and I've been using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer for the longest time. It's pretty much nearly run out for me, and I saw on, I think Missa was doing a live, because I am a Patreon of hers. She mentioned about the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer, which is the yellow one. So the poreless one's the pink one, and this one is the yellow one. Now, I absolutely love the poreless one, and I really, because my skin isn't necessarily dry, but it's not like oily, but I tend to just prefer a more luminous looking skin, and because the foundation I bought, I feel like is matte, I don't want a real matte face. I know that sounds weird considering I bought a matte foundation, but you can always kind of make a foundation more luminous by the steps you take, adding things to your foundation, which I'm going to also do as well. So I've got the Luminous Putty Primer. So the texture of it is definitely more kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's a bit thicker. With the poreless one, you can really kind of like dig your hands in. So I don't know how much I want to apply it. Wow, look at that. Okay. So you can probably tell if I put some on my chin, the sheen that has given me. I have actually found that any e.l.f. product I've tried, I've actually really liked. I am going to be using their concealer, because their concealer is actually my current favourite concealer. So I don't know if I've put on too much. I don't know if I've put on not enough. I've got my hair, but that has just made my skin like just shiny. See, that hasn't made my skin as red as the moisturiser. Don't really understand that. The foundation that I've got is the MUA Makeup Academy Pro Base Long Wear Matte Finish Foundation. I got mine in the shade 130. Don't think this is going to match me. I think it's going to be a little bit too dark. I tend to get more yellow foundations because I fake tan, and I just find that because my skin can get so red, I need something a bit more on the yellow side just to kind of counteract that. I bought this because I've heard it's really good. And I also actually bought the Sleek Highlighting Elixir, and I've heard that this is really good, and I figured I could mix the two together to create more of a like luminous-y finish. These products could work horribly together, and I will probably try both of them more so on their own. I could end up looking like a disco ball if I'm not careful. I put some of this on a little like tray. I'm just going to then add a couple of drops of the Sleek Highlighting Elixir. I've got both of them kind of on my tray. I'm going to take a Real Technique sponge. I got really lazy one day and couldn't be bothered to go and wet it under the taps. I just took a bit of some setting spray and just gave the sponge a bit of a spritz with that. I normally use the Morphe one, but today I really wanted to use my L'Oreal Shake and Glow. I obviously want to be super glowy today for some reason. I am really quite scared actually to apply this, I don't know why. I haven't tried a new foundation in so long. I've been using my, so I'm going to put some on my sponge while I've been using my Maybelline, what's it called, Super Stay foundation, and I really like that foundation. That's quite a matte foundation as well actually, and I really do like that. Well, the colour match isn't too bad actually, it's not too dark. So I was really worried when I looked at it that this would feel like really thick. I suppose it depends how you apply it. My preferred way to apply foundations is always with a sponge, because I tend to find that if I use a brush, if I've got any like dry patches on my skin, it tends to kind of aggravate it, like especially around my nose and kind of here between my eyebrows, and I end up with like all these weird patches. So I'm gonna come in so you can see my skin a little bit up close. So I've just turned down the brightness a little bit so you can see my skin. So you can already see my skin looks real glowy. Obviously I haven't put any underneath my eyes because I want to use some concealer, but I think that actually looks really nice. You can still see like my natural skin shining through as well. I prefer that. I prefer to be able to put on a foundation, cover up where I need to cover up, but also still have my skin shine through. So you can still see like my freckles and everything like that, but it has just like evened out my skin tone, which I really like. The next thing I'm going to do is add some concealer. This is the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer in the colour Light Sand, and I actually really like this concealer. I just think it's just got a really nice coverage, it's really comfortable, it lasts so well on me. It's very full coverage, so I just feel like I don't have to like apply that much, and it just sits, like it blends with everything just so nicely. My powders always sit really nicely on top of it, and it just, like, the difference just that has made. So I love using my Maybelline Fit Me concealer for any spot concealing. To be honest, like, I don't really feel like I've got many places I need to spot conceal. I just tend to put a bit more coverage in certain areas, which at the moment is just literally that one area, just where I can see a very small amount of redness peeking through. So I'm going to set my under eyes. I love using my Fenty Pro Filter powder in the shade Butter. I sometimes do use this all over my face as well, but I mainly just kind of stick to your more baking areas. So I'm just going to take some of this. I don't bake with a sponge. I haven't baked with a sponge in quite a long time, but I just take my Real Techniques setting brush and I just kind of press it underneath my eye. I also go kind of around my nose and just on my top lip. And I think because of how shiny I am, I'm just going to kind of go on my chin a bit and also between my eyebrows. And then to set the rest of my face, I'm going to use my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. This is hopefully going to get rid of some of the shine in the areas that I really don't want to be shiny. So like my forehead. One reason as well why I love having such a more kind of luminous base and then using a matte powder is because if I use a matte foundation then use the matte powder, I find that that's, to me, ends up looking really cakey. It tends to look too matte, whereas now I've set it, you can still see the sheen. Like if I put that over the top, like it's set, but you can still see the sheen of my face coming through. I have got the Maybelline City Bronzer in the colour Medium Warm 250. This is a new bronzer that I got yesterday. Can't tell, I went makeup shopping yesterday and did get quite a lot of new things. So I'm going to take some of this bronzer and I'm going to take it on my Real Techniques blush brush. I don't know how pigmented this is going to be. This colour would work for me if I used like a paler foundation, and it would also work if I was maybe 1 or 2 shades darker than I am now, but I think anything above that, it wouldn't work. But that is a really nice colour. Well, I really like that. That's just added so much warmth. So I really like that actually. I think that is very nice. So I'm going to take my Roxy and Makeup Revolution contour palette, and I'm going to go in with the contour colour here, which is on the contour side, and I'm just going to define my cheekbones. This is a very pigmented contour. I probably even went in with a bit too much there. So I would just go in with a very light hand. I am going to finish off my under eyes. So I'm going to take my Kit Co brush in 1.20, which is the Precise Crease brush, and I'm going to take the colour Main, which is the first kind of dark brown, and I'm just going to keep it very simple, just using the same colours underneath my eye. I'm going to take that about 2/3 of the way along, and I'm just sort of making sure that I am connecting it with the colours that were on top as well. And then I'm going to take my M586 brush, the same one I used with Mr. H, which was that peach colour, and I'm just going to softly blend that out. I feel like these colours really make my eyes look more green instead of hazel. I've got quite hazel eyes, but whenever I use like oranges or peaches, always tends to make my eyes look more green. And then the last thing I'm going to do is take my Morphe M562 brush and the colour Modest, which is that kind of yellowy toned colour, and just soften that all up. So just something very simple. I really don't want too much underneath my lower lash. I'm going to apply some of my Maybelline mascara. So I feel like that has added so much length to my lower lash line, which I don't really tend to have that. So yeah, I do actually really like the mascara. I've got a couple of dots, so I need to leave that to dry. So I've got 2 more face products that I really want to try. I've got the Lottie London Blush Crush in the colour Nick, which is this kind of pinky toned colour. This was in the pack with the eye foil. And then I have got the Jacqueline Cosmetics loose highlighter in the colour Extra. I'm going to apply my highlight first, just because I feel like then I can do my blusher. So I'm going to swatch it just so you can see what this looks like, because it's so nice. So this is what it looks like. It is just, I feel like it just is going to give me a sheen, and I'm hoping it's not going to give me like a cast, because it is the lightest colour. It's also supposed to be like the most blinding, I think is what Jacqueline said. So I don't know how I'm going to apply this. I think I'm just going to try and apply it dry first. I'm going to take it on my BH Cosmetics number 5 brush, and I'm just going to take some on my brush. I've just kind of tapped off some of the excess, so I haven't got too much on. And I'm going to just very gently start rubbing it in. Wow, that just kind of melts straight onto the skin. So if I look straight on, and I'm sure some like quite a good pro MUA has said this, but with highlight you're supposed to look straight on, not be able to see it, and then when you turn your head, then you're supposed to get the sheen. So wow, I really like this. Yeah, I'm going to apply some on my nose. That's quite a lot on my nose. That is very nice, and I've not applied a ton. I just wanted to kind of have a play with it, but I'm sure that I will try it one day and just kind of shove a load of it on. What I am going to do is, I've still got some product on my brush, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of a spritz with my setting spray, my L'Oreal setting spray, and I'm just going to kind of tap on it and see what happens. I feel like my skin right now just looks wet. It looks wet, it looks glowy. and I'm pretty happy about that. So I'm now going to take my Lottie London blusher, and I'm going to take it on my Morphe E49 brush. This is quite pink. Whoa, that looks pigmented. This is quite a pink toned blusher. I probably would have preferred to use a more corally brusher, but wow, that's pretty pigmented. Again, this is so cheap. The only thing about Lottie London, it used to be in Superdrugs, but I don't think you can get it in stores anymore. That blusher is amazing. So I feel like I'm quite happy with actually how my makeup come out. I just need to do something to my lips. I have got this Lottie London hollow lip gloss, which I kind of want to try, but I just really don't feel like it's going to go with this look. So what I want to do is, I think I'm just going to apply a little bit of my Jeffree Star Mannequin liquid lipstick. This is my favourite colour. So I think what I'll do is I'll apply this on my lips and then maybe just put a little bit of it on top. Just tap it in with a brush and see what happens. I don't want anything too crazy on my lips because I'm going to be having my lunch in a minute anyway. I love this colour. I love it like just kind of pressed into my lips like this. I really wish I would have had this colour on my wedding day, because wearing it like this, it would have lasted like all the time I was getting my pictures taken. So then what I'm going to do, this is like a purple. It's so pigmented. It's like a purple with like this blue iridescent. But I'm just going to take a little bit on and just kind of pat it on. It looks like a colour that would be like crazy to wear. I actually think quite a nice colour. Yeah, I think that looks quite nice. I quite like that. And then just to finish off my makeup, because apparently I'm not glowy enough, but I'm going to add some of my L'Oreal Shake and Glow. The only thing I hate about setting sprays is when you get it all in your hair. Like, I washed my hair last night and dried it this morning, and now it's going to get wet with this. This is the finished look. I actually really like it. I think that maybe the eyes and lips don't go together perfectly, but I would wear my lips out like this. I feel like this is just a really subtle way of adding some lip gloss without it being like it's not like sticky. And then as the lip gloss wears off, I've got the liquid lipstick underneath, which would last quite well. So I just want to very quickly, because I know this video is super long, just go through each product and just talk about like whether or not I use them again, whether or not I like them. So the first one is the Mama Mitchell and Beauty Bay palette. From what I used of it today, and I know I only used a couple of colours, I absolutely love this. I don't know if I love it more than my Stacey Marie. I do have the Stacey Marie XL Carnival palette, which is really good, but these just blended so well. There's barely any fallout. I've already hit pan on at least one colour in my Stacey Marie palette, and I just feel like it's going to take a really long time for that to happen with this. So I would highly recommend this. Plus it's only £30, so it's very inexpensive. The Lottie London eye foil, the burning sensation on my eyes has gone. I just think it looks so nice. It's very, like, it's there, but it's not like in your face. It's not like putting a pigment down. So I actually really like that. I like the kind of sheen of it. The mascara I really like. I feel like I'm gonna love it more like the more I use it. The e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer, I really like this. I just felt like it kind of really illuminated my skin, made my makeup go on really smooth, and I feel like using this along with my poreless one, my base will be exactly how I want it to be. This foundation has actually really surprised me. It's not as like thick and cakey as what I thought it was going to be. I know I've mixed it with my Sleek highlighter. I will use this on its own, but I do feel like it's just got a nice coverage. It feels so like my skin, it just feels so comfortable. It doesn't feel like I've got a ton of makeup on, and I did put a fair amount on. So yeah, for £5 you just cannot go wrong with that. And these, I would highly recommend picking them up, these Sleek highlighting elixirs. If you could put these all over your face, you'll probably get pretty much the same effect that you get from the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer, maybe just slightly more. I feel like putting this like on the high points of my skin as well will probably look really nice. Would I add as much as I did to the foundation? Probably not, but it's the only way I'm going to learn. The Maybelline City Bronzer, I really liked it. I feel like I've got this real subtle kind of bronze that I more enjoy. I just feel like if I put on too much bronzer, it looks really harsh. It makes me look really muddy. So I would really recommend picking this up. Lottie London Blush Crush. I really like this. It's a really nice pigmented blush. It's got a little bit of a kind of sparkle to it. Plus, it's a really big like blusher. And the packaging is really nice. It's got a nice mirror to it. And if you, I really want to pick up some more of these, especially because the colour on the outside is the colour of the blusher. So that's definitely going to help. And then finally, the Jaclyn Hill highlighter. I would definitely recommend picking it up. I know that there's a lot of controversy with her. I just like playing with makeup. It doesn't really bother me who's made it. I don't judge the person, I judge the makeup. So I just kind of tend to keep them opinions to myself. But I really like it. I haven't put a ton on. I just feel like my skin has got a nice glow. So my battery is about to die because I've been filming for so long. So if you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I am so happy to be back. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel as well. And I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.